Hey guys, it's Archon. I'm gonna be recording this for those that are, well, new like me and really have no idea what's going on if they pick the Ranger. So I had a problem with Clarions. I thought it was bugged. If I read the tooltip is kind of limited here. It does say class lesser call of the wild when you swap pets. It's not exactly true. There is actually another spot here that I overlooked because, well, it's easy to overlook. These are kind of like paragraphs. It does say combat only, so it does require you to be in combat, but there is some inconsistency here. Look at this. I'm not in combat now, and bam, I got a proc. I'm not in combat though. It's confusing. And this is why I got confused to begin with because sometimes you don't need to be in combat. Sometimes it just goes off. Like I'm not in combat. I'm just chilling. Um, so this is what definitely threw me off because I knew for a fact sometimes I would just be in a PvP match and I would not be in combat, or I would just be like now just chilling in town doing nothing, and I would just hit that swap button and it would go off and I get the 50-second timer and I get these buffs and I would be able to, proc my effects. And I was doing this because I was just practicing my hotkeys and seeing how I can go into stealth mode and playing around with some of these key bindings and seeing how I can just maneuver around the keyboard and whatnot. You can see now that the effects are going off, but I also have a video not that long ago I posted that they were not going off. And that being said, there was this combat modifier. It does seem like you need to be in combat. I don't know. I mean, I'm not in combat now. I'm just walking around. I don't have anything aggroed. I'm just in town. And it's just now it's working. Like, but you can see the difference here. I'm getting a lot of these bonuses: crit chance, might, the speed boost, and obviously that blast modifier. And I believe a lot of extra damage. So you don't want to be missing that in PvP, like an actual match and whatnot. Those are pretty valuable effects. So I also have that quickness, which I think is gonna make my skills cool down faster. Big DPS. Um, Now will that make me a pro? No, of course not. But still, I'd rather practice and understand why some of these effects are going on and why they're not going on. Like this, now it's not going on. Did I do anything different? No. I took an extra step, and now it's like not doing the effect. Um, Maybe if I don't know, it's like so inconsistent. So I think it's easy to see though how a new player like me, at least, is a little bit baffled by this circumstance. And I recorded this again just to show like even it's definitely a little bit weird. I don't quite understand the mechanic. I just want to understand exactly what's going on. So I think if I get into aggro, let's just play around with it. Let's just do it. I'm gonna shoot an arrow, and I'm gonna try to do a swap here. So let's do a swap. Nothing. Targeting an enemy doesn't do anything. It's not combat status. Let's take a shot here. One shot arrow. That one does it. That one activates. So yes, combat modifier does seem to be the kicker. And if I deselect and do not engage, does it activate? Let's find out. It does. All right, so that's the part that got me confused. I think there is some kind of, I don't know, maybe a combat timer of maybe 10 minutes, something crazy like that, where it's like, okay, if you were in combat in the last 10 minutes, you can activate this effect. As you can see, I'm not in combat anymore, but the fact is going off. Um, so yeah, that's weird. I don't know how long I needed to have had participated in combat for the effect to go off, but it does seem somewhere around 10 minutes. I guess if I guesstimate, maybe 8 minutes. I don't know exactly, but yes, you need to have had participated in combat for at least 8 minutes ago, and then you get the effect off. That's important because, well, sometimes you want to use these effects like prior to getting into combat. I find because if you're in range, you're obviously a ranger. At range, you want to get these bonus damages prior to starting your attacks in because you're gonna have a lot of damage bonus and whatnot. So you just get damage there. As you can see, I'm still activating these effects. So hopefully this helps out some new player as well that has no idea what's going on and why some of these effects were just not going on, or they're going on randomly and not going on later. It was really, I think even for maybe experienced players that maybe they didn't know that. Maybe they didn't know that it was like, hey, you needed to have a tag within the last 8 minutes. Yeah. So I don't know, but now I know that's was a little bit trippy, of course. 'Cause it doesn't work the way you would expect, and it doesn't say it works that way in the tooltip, the short tooltip here. It does say it here where it says combat only, but it does not say it in the shorthand tooltip, the one that's up. And that's the one I see most of the time as well. Over here, it doesn't say combat only. It just says swap pets. Period. Doesn't affect, and that's not always true. Okay, but hopefully this helped you. Helped me now that I played around with it, talked it out, and just got to find out why it was doing certain things. There's definitely a lot more in this game that I still don't quite understand, but I think that's more of me not understanding it as opposed to like in an actual bug. This may not have been a bug. Maybe it's bugged and requires it me to have an active combat stance, and maybe it's I don't know. The current way it's functioning is a little bit weird to me because I'm not in combat. Um, so I think it's easy to see how I got confused. Long story short. All right, thanks guys for hanging out. For hopefully that again helps out for some new players that are picking up the Ranger class and want to try this out for the first time. Pretty cool. It's a cool game so far. I like the PvP. Pretty fun. Pretty mobile. Fast paced. I liked it. I just hopefully I can learn how to do the things. Thanks guys.